After his return to Timbuktu, Bakari quickly realizes that the challenges are far from over. While the people celebrate his achievements, not everyone is convinced that his Western education is valuable. Some elders in the community, particularly those deeply entrenched in traditional ways, view Bakari's new ideas with suspicion. They worry that the influence of foreign knowledge might erode their cultural values. Bakari finds himself in a delicate position, caught between his desire to uplift his community and the fear of alienating the elders. He frequently seeks advice from his sister, Khadija, who remains a constant source of wisdom. She reminds him that true progress lies in finding harmony between the old and the new. The Council of Elders' tension comes to a head when Bakari is summoned to speak before the Council of Elders. The council is composed of the most respected leaders in Timbuktu, including Elder Musa, who has supported Bakari since childhood. However, even Elder Musa is concerned about how Bakari's education will influence the younger generation. Bakari, dressed in a regal traditional robe, stands before a circle of wise, older men seated on low stools in a grand, ancient hall. The room is adorned with tapestries, traditional African motifs, and artifacts like old manuscripts and ceremonial staffs. The atmosphere is tense as Bakari makes his case, his voice calm but passionate, while the elders listen with serious, contemplative expressions. Elder Musa sits at the center, his face a mix of concern and hope. Turning point, in his speech, Bakari emphasizes that his education is not meant to replace their traditions but to complement them. He speaks of the importance of preserving their heritage while also embracing the tools that can help their society thrive in a changing world. His words resonate with Elder Musa, who, after a moment of silence, expresses his support for Bakari's vision. The council remains divided, but the tide begins to turn in Bakari's favor. Despite the partial support from the Council of Elders, the community itself becomes divided. Some parents are eager to send their children to study under Bakari, while others hold back, fearing that their children will lose their cultural identity. The colonial administrator seizes on this division, spreading rumors and stoking fears that Bakari is an agent of colonial influence. A bustling marketplace in Timbuktu, where townspeople gather in heated discussions. In the foreground, two groups stand apart, one led by Bakari, speaking passionately to a group of parents, and another led by a traditional elder, who gestures towards the ancient manuscripts as a symbol of tradition. The market is filled with vibrant colors, traditional clothing, and the sounds of a lively African city, but the tension is palpable in the air. Khadija, seeing the growing divide, takes it upon herself to bridge the gap. She begins organizing small gatherings where Bakari can speak to the community in a more personal setting, sharing his knowledge while respecting the traditions they hold dear. She also starts teaching the women and girls in the community, combining the old ways with new insights from Bakari's studies. Khadija, dressed in a beautiful traditional wrap, sits with a group of women and children in a sunlit courtyard. She holds an ancient manuscript in one hand and a modern textbook in the other, teaching from both. The women and children, dressed in colorful, traditional attire, listen intently, their faces illuminated by the warm light. The courtyard is surrounded by adobe walls and vibrant flowering plants, symbolizing growth and harmony. A united vision. As months pass, the community begins to see the benefits of Bakari's teachings. The children who study with him excel, learning both the wisdom of their ancestors and the skills needed to navigate the modern world. The younger generation starts to embody a new kind of leadership, one that respects tradition but is unafraid to innovate. The colonial administrator, realizing he is losing influence, attempts one final move to discredit Bakari by accusing him of conspiring against the colonial government. However, the community, now united and empowered by Bakari's teachings, stands by him. Even the Council of Elders, once divided, publicly supports Bakari, showing that the strength of their culture lies in its ability to adapt and grow. Bakari, Khadija, Elder Musa, and the entire community gather in the center of Timbuktu. The scene is one of unity and celebration, with people dressed in their finest traditional clothing, waving banners and holding cultural symbols like drums and manuscripts. The ancient buildings of Timbuktu loom proudly in the background as the sun sets, casting a golden light over the joyous crowd. Bakari stands at the forefront, a symbol of hope and progress, while the colonial administrator watches from a distance, his influence diminished. The legacy of Bakari. Years later, Bakari has become an elder himself, respected and revered across Africa. His teachings have spread far beyond Timbuktu, inspiring other African scholars to pursue education while staying true to their roots. Timbuktu once again becomes a beacon of knowledge, where the old and the new coexist in harmony. In his old age, Bakari sits under the same baobab tree where he first dreamed of becoming a scholar. Now, he watches as his own children and grandchildren, along with students from across the continent, continue the work he started. Khadija, now a respected elder as well, sits beside him, proud of the legacy they've built together. An elderly Bakari, dressed in a regal bubu, sits under a towering baobab tree with his sister Khadija, also dressed in traditional attire. Around them, young African students, dressed in both traditional and modern clothing, study ancient manuscripts and modern books. The scene is peaceful and warm, with the golden light of the setting sun bathing the landscape. In the background, the ancient city of Timbuktu is visible, now a thriving center of knowledge and culture once more. And so, the legacy of Bakari, the first African to earn a degree, lives on. His journey was not just about education, but about finding the balance between progress and tradition. In the heart of Africa, in the ancient city of Timbuktu, his story continues to inspire generations, reminding us all that true wisdom lies in the harmony of the old and the new. Thanks very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe so we can keep bringing you more joyful content. Stay joyful, always.